Hi, I'm Alesha Tryed, and I need knowing.
Good morning, bitches. I'm ready to Susanna read these bitches for filth. I'm Rob.
Hi, and I'm Iris Pompey, Bondi.
And holler at us, you know us, because it's time for 2.5 Queens!
Hello and welcome to 2.5 Queens, the show where we talk about everything RuPaul's Drag Race UK Series 2.
On today's episode, we'll be diving into Morning Glory, which is the daytime TV show, and the Monster Ball runway looks.
There was everything happening in this episode, absolutely everything. We were going to really struggle to jam-pack into one episode. But it's nice to see you guys in your gothic looks this week.
Thank you.
Really,
I'm giving you Daphne from Scooby-Doo, but after dark.
Very that.
And I'm giving you the goth presenters from Morning Glory.
And I'm giving you a red shirt. Why? Because blood. And that pretty much summarises.
This is Otter on Halloween.
The effort is off the chart.
You should have just got a white t-shirt, ripped it up in some blood.
But it was a jam-packed episode, as we said, so let's not waste any time. Let's get straight into the episode. Chin chin.
Chin chin holes.
We return from last week where Tia Coffee sent Estina Mandela packing, and it's really got the girls quaking in their boots. So much so that the shade is knee-deep from the get-go. We've got Ahura making shady little comments to Tia, but most of all, Ginny making shady little comments to Lawrence.
Where did that come from?
Honestly.
Yeah, I believe that there is definitely something going on in the background with Lawrence that we don't know.
Perhaps Lawrence is just overbearing in person.
Yeah.
It reads well on camera, but maybe it's a lot to be around 24/7.
Yeah, it was a rocky week for Ginny as well, so Ginny's obviously feeling quite like, there was a lot of emotion that came from Ginny.
To continue until they come back into the workroom the next day, and the shade is still not done being thrown,
Oh no.
because now it's Tace's turn to take a rip out of Tia Coffee.
Yes.
She's a bit upset that Estina has gone at home,
Yeah.
but there is no one better to defend a friend than Miss Veronica Green, who is who is there
Veronica Green,
all the time.
a friend in me, like, honestly.
Yeah, if you're going to have a friend, it's going to be Veronica Green,
Yeah.
isn't it? Veronica,
Yeah.
if you're watching this, I know you're not. But if you are, we'd love to have you on.
Honestly, Veronica,
Just to fight our battles.
We'd make
We've
you
got
work,
this.
yeah.
Veronica is the friend everyone wants.
Yeah.
She's a friend of the show.
I think it's quite harsh for but they're still calling Tia Baroness Basic at every term. I feel like I heard the word basic about 7 times in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Tia just turned a lip sync. Give the girls some credit. The mini challenge was quite fun this week.
Yeah.
They were sort of advertising cakes. They all had a cake each, and they were sort of
Yeah.
branding it, really trying to sell it the best they could.
Yeah.
Who was the best on that challenge?
For me, you're going to be surprised. Bimini!
I agree this week.
I
Bimini,
love them. And the Brexit joke.
It is exactly the route it needed to go down. It's very easy to go down an inappropriate kind of wink,
Yeah.
wink, nudge, nudge.
Like this end. Everyone's doing dirty, so I'll do something else.
Yeah, exactly, and it's kind of that originality, and to do something that would you say it's a taboo subject? Is it something that you?
Not taboo,
Well,
but I feel like a lot of people don't like to mix politics and drag.
Yeah,
But
but
Bimini's...
Which is
Bimini-
weird because drag is political. Hello.
drag is political.
Hello.
This typifies why I love Bimini, because Bimini to look at is a blonde bimbo, but we're already seeing how intelligent they are. The way they broke down the non-binary thing last week, the way they were just so easily able to market this with a political spin,
Yeah.
but still keep it funny.
Yeah.
Bimini is really intelligent, like really, really an intelligent
I
queen.
mean, I only stand intelligent people. Hello.
That's
So I
why.
stand Britney Spears as well.
That's why we don't still Alesha Tryed.
Who does? Who does?
Again, there were some queens that were kind of just went down a
There were
bit.
some stinkers like Ellie.
Inappropriate. Ellie's, Ginny's.
It's alright.
I find it so hard watching people who aren't funny try and be funny in a room of silence. Like, oh, the crickets.
And in a room with such funny people, to just be, it makes my bum hole clench.
This took us straight through to the Maxi challenge. The Maxi challenge is fun this week. It's Morning Glory.
Yes.
which is a
Not Morning Glory holes.
Not
which Lorraine
Morning
Kelly
Glory
thankfully
holes.
told us because I was so mistaken.
Yes.
But yes,
Yeah.
we are joined by the very glorious Lorraine Kelly. As Lorraine Kelly, yes.
Yes,
As Lorraine Kelly.
She's not about to miss an acting job.
And Lorraine Kelly's watching you.
And the Queen
The
of Daytime
Queen of
Television
Daytime,
is right
the
there.
Beyonce of daytime telly, which I was like, why does everyone keep? Somebody compared Beyonce and Ellie Diamond, and now Beyonce and Lorraine. Do they actually know who Beyonce is?
Why are you saying it like that?
What do you mean?
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Beyonce!
Beyonce?
But no, yeah, I'm so confused why people are comparing people to Beyonce. Do you actually know who Beyonce is?
You're doing that on purpose?
No, it's how I say Beyonce.
Okay.
How do you say it?
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Like, so you're going yarn?
She doesn't
Beyonce?
Beyonce?
Can we just talk about RuPaul in the workroom? There were so many awkward moments, but
Yeah.
none more prominent than Ellie Diamond just grilling RuPaul on the spot about why he doesn't pronounce her name with like a Scottish accent.
Ellie Diamond woke up and was like, as soon as RuPaul walked in, was like, hello, hello, hello. Ellie Diamond chose violence.
Show is violence.
I didn't think it was that rude.
No.
Maybe Ellie thinks it's like a kiki.
Yeah.
You know, but RuPaul's like,
Well, the thing is, I don't think
RuPaul
RuPaul knows how to act off the cuff,
Yeah.
so I don't think RuPaul. That wasn't in the script.
yeah, RuPaul tried to complete it. And then it was in the earpiece, like, is she supposed to say that?
I hope he had to go off to production like, what did I say about Ellie last week? What were the lines? you
Running
were
off.
calling?
Yeah.
Running off.
Shine bright like a diamond.
Diamond. Oh, Ellie.
RuPaul's like, cut, get the script last week.
Yeah.
What did I
Yeah.
say?
I think it was fair and justified for Ellie Diamond to be like, Ruru, why are you not saying my
Ruru.
Not
Yeah,
Ruru.
Come on, Scooby-Doo.
Miss
Oh.
Ruru. I feel like a bit like Scooby actually.
Same hair colour.
Yeah.
Same face. No, just
So this takes us straight through to the Maxi challenge, and they're filming it live. Now, I think this would be quite difficult, don't you, to actually just do it on the spot.
Yeah, I mean, this is hard enough, and we edit this.
Yeah, there's no like second take. What you say, what you are.
Mm.
And if you're going with something and you're not sure, you're like, oh, it's going to tough, which we'll dive into with some of the queens. You just got to kind of keep going with it because you're live. You can't just stop and be like, oh, wait, hold on.
It's a really sort of multi-layered task, like really tough, really
Big
tough.
time. We got a good start with it. Taze and Bimini were really good, I thought. It wasn't like they were reading from an old skew at all.
Set the tone for the show, I think. It felt
Big time.
very like just little things like Bimini holding the card upside down and saying, you know, that they just, it looks like they've just come in from a 6-day bender.
Yeah, which I
Yeah.
guess they have a lot of experience with.
Well,
being
yeah.
London girls.
Being London.
And it's no surprise because Taste has advertised for TK Maxx, so therefore she's
a natural on the television.
Natural. on TV.
natural because TK Maxx and morning shows just go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But this was I was surprised how good Bimini was. I
Me too.
wasn't expecting Bimini to look so comfortable. It just looked so easy for them.
Yeah.
And the more it went on, sort of because it kept going back to the two hosts, and Bimini was sort of slouched, and they were able to make reference to how bad one of the previous skits were, which clearly wasn't on the audio.
Yeah, that went on a bit
It
well.
was
The improv. So that's
the
the big
improv
thing.
from
the
Bimini
improv,
was
yeah.
really
Really good.
strong. Who else really shone for you in this challenge other than just Bimini?
Lawrence Cheney!
Yeah,
And Ellie Diamond.
I don't agree on
I
that.
don't agree with that. She was like Lawrence's little...
She was outshone. She was outshone.
Yeah. It was very much like out of each one of the cast, there was one that shined brighter than well, I mean, apart from sister and Veronica. But there was one of them that kind of did take the lead.
Mm-hmm.
You would say
Yeah.
Bimini with Taste of
Bimini,
Bimini.
yeah.
Yes.
Lawrence with Lawrence and Ellie. Now,
Ahura.
what about Ahura? Yeah.
Ahura was my favourite this week. I thought this was not something you would expect Ahura to be amazing at.
Yes.
And she killed it. Every single Towie reference, it was Amy Child to House Down Boots. Absolutely perfect. It was like how you weren't expecting Aquaria to turn up to Snatch Game and kill it as Melania
Oh,
Trump.
that was so
We
funny.
weren't expecting that at all.
Not again!
We gotta put it in again!
I wasn't expecting that at all.
I mean, we've got to talk. The Veronica and sister
Well, yeah.
sex sketch was
that's
just
the,
horrid. It was horrid. It
Yeah,
was
it was.
horrid.
It's difficult to play a goth, and I think if you have to have I don't know, if you're going to be gothic, you need to do something, than just be deadpan like.
It was one note of just moody, but moody and quiet and just boring.
Yeah, the one thing that annoyed me most was probably at the end of the skit where Veronica went straight into like, I'm so sorry, I ruined this.
Yeah.
And Sister wasn't even like, oh
she
no,
was just facing the other way, like, she didn't give a
Yeah, it wasn't like, no, we both were not the strongest. Because they weren't. If you look, they both weren't, not one of them was better than the other, not one of them was worse than the other. They were both very...
They were bad on different levels for me.
Yeah.
Veronica was bad because she was trying, but nothing that was coming out landed, and it wasn't funny.
It wasn't natural.
And Sister was just flatline because there was no energy. So they were both bad for differing reasons. But I don't feel like Sister was bad because of Veronica. If anything, if you've got a really bad opponent, then it's all there for you to
You've got to take the lead, and she just didn't.
Absolutely.
She didn't rise to that challenge. And to be fair, I don't think that Veronica was. It's not like Veronica wasn't trying to give her something. I actually felt like Sister wasn't really bothering to give back to Veronica because she'd resigned to the fact that she was going to do shit.
They were the only two who really bombed for me. Ginny was crazy. It was insanity.
Yeah.
I have no idea what I was watching, but I enjoyed it. Like I was entertained.
I laughed at some things, but I was more just like, I don't know what's happening, so I'm laughing out of, I don't know what's going on.
But I'd rather laugh out of confusion than not laugh at all.
Confusion.
Yeah.
Look over there!
Yeah.
So it's elimination day, and when we head back, it's the same vibe as yesterday, basically. Veronica's feeling sorry for herself, and Sister is like, yeah, it was your fault, actually. It feels like there is such a lack of responsibility being held here, which is the biggest problem. And I think it's Sister projecting her own insecurities onto other people, but it comes across so sour. It must have made Veronica feel like shit.
But I do think she was very unfair about what she said to Veronica, because there comes a time in life where you just have to think, yeah, I actually did pretty shit on my own.
Yeah, it just seemed like Veronica was already beaten down and Sister was there like...
She's got a knack for that, hasn't she,
Yeah.
Sister?
So like Lawrence previously.
And do you think that helps?
Do you know what, Rob? If you're going to be sour, I'm going home.
And also, I would say probably the most prominent feature of being back in the workroom is a reconciliation between Tia and Ahura. Now, last week when we spoke about this, we were ready for war. We saw
in the preview, didn't we?
exactly the preview last week. We were like, we're rooting for you, Tia. We hope you can survive this, but it didn't go the angle we expected because it was a lot of Ahura apologising and explaining that it's almost is bitchy because it's like a coping mechanism. Doesn't have a lot of friends in the scene. Doesn't love herself out of drag. So it's Ahura's made this character. Where does this leave you? What was your feeling for all this?
Yeah, I can kind of see why somebody would kind of want to take other people down because they have their own insecurities. And I think it's obviously for somebody like Ahura who is very lovely. Like Ahura was saying like before she goes onto the main stage, she looks in the mirror and she's like, I'm ugly, I'm this, and blah 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 blah. And I think somebody who looks so glamorous could be thinking things like that. That's just like quite shocking to me.
True, because we get on this show every week and we think we look the best thing ever.
I look at a mirror and I'm like,
Speak for yourself. I feel like this is a very human thing.
yeah, I think
You take your insecurities out on other people. We've just spoken about it with Sister.
Yeah.
But Sister is taking no responsibility for it. Ahura just took responsibility for it. And big up Tia for being
I
big
have to
enough.
say, Tia being the bigger person
Yeah.
was really impressive.
So impressive.
Yeah. Tia could have said, you've said all this stuff about me, and walk away and be like, I've cleaned my hands, you are horrible.
Yeah.
But took the time to listen, to process, and to kind of...
And once again, Tia's gone up in my estimation.
Tia
But if we're real, Tia is also shady in the confessionals. The difference is Tia knows how to land a joke, and I don't think Ahura knows how to land a joke. So I think when Ahura's in the confessional, she thinks she's landing jokes, but they just come across like
and you know that
shady.
She knows that it sounds shady because she always says, "Oh no, I'm joking."
Look, if Tia was that offended, she wouldn't have seen a nice person in Ahura, and she sees a nice person in Ahura. I think that speaks volumes.
Oh yeah,
I think
big
that
time.
speaks volumes.
We do have to remember that this is a reality TV show that's
100%.
very
Yeah.
heavily edited.
Yeah.
Let's hit the runway.
Ow!
Ow! And RuPaul looked the best he has looked. She has looked throughout the entire series for me.
Did you see the thing?
The shoulder pads
on Twitter where they were like last week. She was telling Estina, you need to, trick the eye with your shoulders because they're too broad. And Miss Thing comes in like she's had the curtain pole, Miss Curtain Ball.
She looked amazing.
She was
Really?
Raven season 2 curtain pole look. I want a gown. I'm fed up with the legs out. I'll be honest.
What was
She's got great legs, but I miss the great gowns. Great gowns, beautiful gowns that she
Me?
used to wear.
And the category for the week is a monster mashup, which is perfect for February. Veronica came down the runway in a Medusa meets pig look. Probably my favourite she's done so far. Actually, I
Very
love
good.
this. This was
Very
so good.
Yeah. It looked complete. It looked very, very well done. The prostheses, whatever they call prosthetics.
Prostheses.
Please welcome to the stage, prostheses!
The prosthetics were very well done,
Yeah.
and it's something I would have never seen Veronica. I see Veronica as not that type of queen to be, you know.
I will say, the dress looked a bit like one she just thought, oh, that resembles a snake.
But it worked well. I
It-
know what you're saying, but it did work.
It did
well.
work very well. I'm not gonna knock the girl when she's down.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked a hell of a lot better than Sister, who was next down the runway. So far, I've had an issue with Sister's looks because I'm a bit like, I want more. This, I want less. I want so much less of this because I think this is hideous.
That,
You know what I'm getting?
thin, villainous ponytail.
A ponytail, that's the worst ponytail I've ever seen.
I've got more hair on my arse crack than she had in that ponytail.
I didn't even understand the bits of blue. What were the bits of blue?
And was
about?
it a werewolf? Is that what they were doing? Like
It was
a werewolf
very-
mummy.
After a night of hooking, Trey didn't like the session, so you had gutted me.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The less said about it, the better, really.
Yeah.
It was almost like Bimini's balloons had waited a fortnight to pop and then they just decided to go on Sister's outfit in a shade of blue. Bimini. Bimini Bombay watch.
Oh!
We have no choice but to stand. As far as I'm concerned.
Me too. There was criticisms that they looked a bit, unfinished, according to Lorraine Kelly, who is now headquarters of drag.
What's the point?
There was criticism that, the hair wasn't brushed, whatever. I loved it for
Yeah.
everything that it
it.
was. I think if it was, a bit too manicured and too this and that, it wouldn't have been the same.
Not everyone needs to be perfectly pretty,
Yeah.
perfectly this and that. Bimini is a bit rough around the edges, and I'm starting to love it. I'm actually starting to love that. I don't want everyone to be perfectly polished and perfectly padded and all of this to be.
This is the
Oh,
thing.
I don't care. Bimini looked good. She looked good.
Really, I don't know if you know this by the way, but we really do like you.
Yes. Although I'm probably going to say something.
Oh, well, go on
I'm going
then.
to say something.
Oh.
Okay.
Go piss girl.
Go Fiscal. Do I think it looked slightly unfinished? Yes. Do I think the wig could have been a little bit more plump? If you're giving me Pamela Anderson, give me that beach Pamela Anderson big blonde
I
hair.
think she did. I do.
It looked a bit raggedy.
Ginny Lemon's outfit, what we saying?
No.
Yeah, this was my least favourite thing Ginny's come down in so far, unfortunately.
I like the hair.
I like that they tried to do something different.
Yeah.
I actually liked them mixing it up. It felt more on Ginny's brand than last week,
Definitely.
while
Yeah.
still giving them something different.
Yeah, that's the
So-
kind of thing I wanted to see last week. Kind of Ginny, they were going for the critiques that RuPaul had given them,
Yeah.
whilst also staying true to themselves.
I'm gonna save you, darling.
I didn't get Monster at all. Toxic Waste, I believe
It was like a
me.
toxic lemon, wasn't it?
Toxic Lemon, which is on brand.
Yeah.
But this is now week 4, and I think in terms of what we've seen from Ginny on the runway,
Michelle said something, didn't she? She said,
Yeah.
I think this could be it. Like,
Lawrence Chaney was my favourite for runway this week. It was
that skin
it was
dress.
like Sweeney Todd, Texas Chainsaw sort of combination. There were
Yeah.
a lot of
the rhinestone blood.
on it. The face got me. It was such a simple gag, but the face really I couldn't stop staring at it. I was like, that's such a clever
Yeah.
thing to
And
do.
also, regardless of the look, I think Lawrence looked really pretty this week.
Again, honestly, if this Sweeney Todd look was like a cut above the rest.
You
Did
could
like
say
it,
you could
loved
say
it.
she skinned them alive. You couldn't
That was
really.
my cut above the rest. Did you not get that cut? It was a hairdresser, wasn't it?
Sorry.
I'm never punny enough. Never punny
You're the
enough.
meme queen.
I'm the mean queen, you're the puns.
You know what they say, hair today, gone tomorrow.
Ellie was next, and I don't loved the hair.
Really?
I love that brown moment
Oh,
she
oh.
had on.
You didn't,
Yeah. But the I love the face, the prosthetics. Great. I didn't know about the outfit.
I'm gonna let you have your moment because Ellie's number one stan.
I don't know why. I don't know why. Oh my god, Ellie. I'm so like just. I really enjoyed it. It was really good. It
was really good.
It was really good. The green and brown mixing together was fantastic. I got exactly what was being offered for the Monster Ball. So yeah, no, I loved it. I'm bored. I'm gonna be honest, I'm bored. This is about the 4th time I've seen chaps on Ellie. Her entrance look had the same
pink chaps.
The pink chaps.
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace was chaps. We saw pretty much the exact same dress repeated 3 times. Yeah. I feel like we're starting to see similar things from Ellie.
Okay.
And it's not that this is a bad look, but if we're critiquing other girls on playing it safe,
yes,
Ellie is not doing enough. In the words of Girls Aloud, all I want is something new.
Something I can hold on to.
Yeah. This, I'm putting it down with a period, is the best Tia's look so far. And I'm so mad that Tia didn't get critiqued on the runway.
Yeah.
Because this was such an elevation.
She was going to get her redemption moment this week. I did prefer Tia's Medusa to Veronica's.
Yes, because it felt very like.
Because Tia had a concept, you know, the snakes were like just skeletons.
Yes.
You know, there were thought going into it, whereas I feel like Veronica just said, "Yeah, I'll just put a snake headpiece on and put some pig things." You know.
I'm a pig snake.
I'm a pig snake.
I'm a pig snake.
Yeah, that's your name on Grindr.
Pig snake.
So the tops of this week were Lawrence Chaney, Ahura, and Bimini Bombulash. And the bottoms were Ginny, Sister, and Veronica. Do we agree with the tops first of all?
Yes.
Yes, completely.
Yeah.
The bottoms?
Yeah.
Yep.
I would actually have switched Ginny out. Genuinely would have put Ellie in place of Ginny because at least I was entertained by Ginny. I wasn't entertained
I will
by
say
Ellie.
that Ellie was weaker in the main challenge.
One person we agreed on being in the bottom was Veronica.
Yeah.
And when we head back to Untucked, this is a discussion that's being had amongst the safe queens that they all agree that Veronica probably is the weaker
In the
one,
bottom.
potentially the one to go.
Yeah.
When Veronica comes back and they let her know about this, Veronica is straight back on the defensive.
Mm-hmm.
More defensive than we've ever seen her before.
Good for her.
I thought it was a bit.
If you can't defend yourself, how are you going to defend somebody else?
But she does. She defends everyone else.
Yeah. I think.
Well, she can defend herself as well.
You know how we were talking about how people were relying on Pretty? Some people seem to be relying on that one season, episode 2 challenge that they won. And I think, okay, you won something that you were strong at, but now this
That was
is
week 4, Mama.
Oh, and you know, I won't be going home because I was fantastic 2 weeks ago. I was like, well, that was 2 weeks ago. We're not doing a musical theatre challenge now. This is something different. And if you're not strong at this, then that's why you potentially could go home.
What I'm getting for Veronica is that she's an amazing friend and an amazing person.
Yeah.
But she always feels like she has to defend. And sometimes you have to pick your battles because this wasn't the one to go in on.
She really wanted that validation and that kind of, you know, feeling from Sister that they were in that together.
There was the joy.
And Sister made it very clear that she was having none of that, and that she was blaming Veronica for her shit week, which I think made Veronica feel worse because maybe in her heart she knew that she wasn't to blame for that.
So Lawrence Chaney is our winner for the week.
Woo!
Congratulations, Lawrence. 2 weeks in a row. That is a strong one.
Do we all agree that Lawrence was the winner?
Not for me.
I would have had Bimini.
I think I was Bimini Bomb baffled when they completely read her look. I thought the best was Bimini in the challenge.
Yeah.
And then I liked Ahura's runway, so therefore I'd have given it to Ahura because I liked the challenge and the runway.
Are we shocked by the bottom 2?
I'm not shocked because I didn't think they were going to get rid of Veronica.
No.
I knew there's so much goodwill towards Veronica that I
she
wasn't shocked at all.
She's got a repeater badge. Yeah, no, I agree with the bottom 2.
I agree with the bottom 2.
I don't, but that's fine. So now we're heading into the moment that you've all been waiting for.
We've all been waiting for.
Drama.
I know you tuned into this because you typed in Ginny Lemon walking out on YouTube. The lip sync. Let's talk the lip sync or the lack of.
Lack of lip sync.
Someone please take it from my hands.
So I would say first of all that before the lip sync when Ginny was like, I'm going to do what I always do, I'm going to be a bit punk about it.
Yeah.
I remember their stint on the X Factor.
Yeah.
We all do. Roll the clip, Rodney.
What? Lemon! Bitter lemon!
And I thought it was going to be something similar to that.
Yeah.
But the way they did it was actually really gracious, I thought. Part of me's torn because I would love to have seen Ginny fight, but I understand that they couldn't fight against Sister. But I just feel like at the same time, you've got one shot at this.
Yeah.
You know, there's a million queens that could have been there to fight against Sister.
With the lights were going down,
Their face was very...
grinning at RuPaul, staring RuPaul in the eye, and they were like, I know what I'm going to do next. But again, it's kind of like, you know what you're signing up for. Lip syncs are part and parcel of what it is. And, you know, to kind of just not lip sync, just to kind of like, I'm not doing it and going, kind of feels a little...
Get that fire exit door, I'm off.
Feels shady.
I couldn't care less. I really couldn't care less. It's an entertainment show, and the way Ginny left was just iconic.
Very entertaining.
Like, as much as we can all sit here and analyse stuff and be like, it's a lip sync, it's so important, and they can do this and they should do that. It was bloody hilarious.
You are right, you know.
Like, were we watching and were we entertained?
It's all the drama, Mick. I just love it.
We were entertained.
Because before this is a show about drag, it's a show about, you know, drama and reality television.
100%, it's a drama show, and Ginny did it in true Ginny fashion.
Yeah.
Just went, you know what? I'm knackered.
It's
I'm off.
It's the cackle before they walked off stage for me.
Very there.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Iconic. But congrats to Sister, because Sister actually did turn it.
Yeah.
Sister, just touching on that, like Sister did.
She whipped those 3 strands of
She
hair.
she literally, those 3 strands, I mean, as somebody who has 3 strands as a boy, I understand that.
Same.
Do we feel like it was Ginny's time to go?
No.
No, I don't either.
But Ginny thought,
But Ginny thought it was Ginny's time, so therefore.
So that takes precedence.
It was Ginny's time. Honestly, season 2 would not have been the same without Ginny. I'm so glad they were there.
A different type of queen for the franchise. I feel like Ginny was so fresh and brought elements of drag kings and, you know, genderfolk. And I think we see a lot of queens that come on TV ready, and I think Ginny came on as Ginny.
Completely Ginny.
Completely Ginny, and you know what, was got to the point where they were like, what I've presented isn't fitting with the format anymore now, so...
And it just sets us up for the next episode. That's it for episode 4, and we could not have had a better 70 minutes. Really, honestly, I was glued the entire time. We move on to episode 5, where for the first time in Drag Race herstory, you've all got COVID!
We thought season 13 had it all, but UK2 was hiding a complete season twist.
The gag of the season.
It'll be Valentine's Day next Sunday. Send us some love.
Yeah.
And we get no more love than when you subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you fancy following us on Instagram at 2.5 Queens, we're not going to be mad, because we're here every single week covering every last bit of gossip, and hopefully looking stunning in the process. We'll be here next week when we are left with 8 contestants, and we cannot wait to see you. But for now, we bid you farewell. I hope you enjoyed. Good night.
Bye. I'm French.
Beyonce.